Here we are, broken stars. We get tired of these fast cars. Each day repeats in city streets, working hard for the elite. I wanna ride, feel alive. My heart needs to be outside. I want more, open the door. Tell me what you're waiting for. 'Cause every time the sun goes down, the beat gets high, the music's loud. Here we are for the here and now. Forget the past, it's in the clouds. Every time the sun goes down, yeah, yeah, yeah. Every time the sun goes down. Work so hard before us. This needs to be outside. I want more, open the door. Tell me what you're waiting for. 'Cause every time the sun goes down, the beat gets high, the music's loud. Here we are for the here and now. Forget the past, it's in the clouds. Every time the sun goes down, yeah, yeah, yeah. Every time the sun goes down. Every time, yeah, every time, yeah. Every time, yeah, every time, yeah, yeah. Every time, yeah, every time, yeah. Every time, yeah, every time, yeah, yeah.
KXVS on 92.1 coming soon.
You're listening to the Voice of Stockton on KXVS.
Jim Star.
Big Mato.
Big Mato. Come on, what you say,
Morena, dominicano, colombiano, boricua, morena, cubano, mexicano.
This is what they want. They want reggaeton. What? They want reggaeton.
Esto es lo que quieren, toma reggaetón.
Get.
Toma reggaetón.
You see, I never kick my story. I always kick it. When I bone shorty, I slap culo and it's again.
Soy el tema estrella cuando canto lo que dicen. Una nalgada en el culo, ella grita.
What? You see, a body got a rap for his own. That be for Hardo. San Juan, Bayamon.
Sol del campo, Santiago, tabaco y ron. Allá en Puerto Rico con Bacardi y limón.
And this is all that. You can tell Spanky on it. The remix to the remix with Yankee on it.
Esto es un mofongo, un Jimmy con Nori on it. Un reggaetón con Zen Star and Big Mato on it.
Boricua, morena, dominicano, colombiano, boricua, morena, cubano, mexicano. Mi canto.
Para que sientan el encaje. Brother en la pista, muévase contra salvaje, yeah. What's up, everybody? This is your boy Marcelis.
This your girl RawNe.
It's Tim Hawley.
And Al X.
And we're coming at you with the KXVS
Morning Show.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the KXVS Morning Show. Rise and Shine 209. It's your girl RawNe. We're in the house of Marcelis, Flores, and we have our special guests today, Jimmy and Felicia. So welcome.
Welcome, guys.
Hello.
This is a odd start. I didn't hear our drop on that one.
It was kind of quiet.
What's up? What's
I know
up?
I
What's
didn't quite catch
up?
it, but I heard it. I didn't quite catch it, but I heard it. So.
Oh, right,
but
nice. I
good
see my
morning.
voice. I see my voice on the screen.
There you go.
That's
so
good.
that's kind of that indicator.
That's
Lets
good
us
news.
know.
Good
But
news.
Good morning. Glad you guys are here. It's 8:22 right now, and right now we're just gonna get into traffic. I was looking at everything, which our traffic is brought to us by www.localconditions.com, and the freeways are looking good. I-5, Highway 4, 99. Most of the congestion and traffic are in town, so look up your local areas. We have a lot going on off Cherokee, Weber, California Street, and Harding Way, over near UOP. If you haven't been over there, you see there's a lot of traffic going on up and down Pershing.
Always.
Going North Thornton. So if you guys are in those areas, just be careful. Watch for construction sites and pedestrians. And then you can go to localconditions.com, weather, Stockton, California, and find out what your local conditions are as far as traffic in your area, what your holdups might be. Currently, we're looking at the weather at 61 degrees with a high of 89, and it's going to drop down to 56. But y'all are not going to be here later tonight to feel that 56-degree weather. So
it'll probably be colder than that.
No, we are not. After this
that.
show, we are about to dip off to 7 hours north of California. Where are we?
Crescent City, California.
Crescent City, California. Do they have a beach? Are they next to a beach?
Yes.
We are going to be about 100 yards from the beach.
Nice.
So are we going to get to go to the beach tonight, or
We're
what,
gonna go
guys?
to the beach after the show, and apparently there's a party waiting for us at a friend's house.
High five! High five! Yeah! Party with my $50. I'm playing. Actually,
hey, in Crescent City's economy, that might go pretty far.
Yes, yes. That's why I like to hear. I gotta go home and grab my trunks now. When I grab my car, I gotta get some shorts and throw them in the bag. And yeah, I love beaches. I hope it's just actually like warm enough to get in the beach and not be like.
It'll probably be 55 degrees, and the water will probably be about the same.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah, it's cold water still. You need to go to LA, Marcelis. Get your
where did I go? San Diego. I went to San Diego, and it was
San Diego.
Huh?
What'd you do in San Diego?
What did I do?
Did you go
I went to a beach. Yeah, I went to a beach for one day.
Did you go to La Jolla?
I'm not sure. We actually went together. What beach was that?
So it was.
We took a trip to San Diego like that. Bow. We
Yeah,
flew
it
out of
was just
Stockton
like a
right here.
Spur of the moment thing.
Crazy. Like it was like Wednesday, and we were like, we left on like a Thursday or a Friday or something. We was just like, let's go. Let's get away, man.
How much did it cost you to fly down?
Not much.
We left out of Stockton. And that was one of the reasons why
one
it was
trip,
like spur of the
boom,
moment,
boom.
because we could just like go right over to the airport and just leave.
Then we
And I
went
was
to
like, let's just
we went
do
to
it.
Mexico. That was pretty interesting. We should have had our journalist gear like with the with our notebooks and stuff. It was so
well,
sketchy.
we went along
and
this like little peninsula area, and it was kind of like just a lot of different beaches. I can't. I want to say it was something like silver something.
Dude, boy, I will tell you this. It was the nicest beach I haven't been to a lot. You know this. I haven't. You took me to my first time seeing the beach.
That was really your first time ever seeing the beach? Ever?
Well, when I was like 2, I was like I knew I had pictures of myself at a beach, but at like as far as like being and seeing that, yes, correct.
That was
First
when
time.
we went to Santa Cruz that time.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't hear myself on the mic. That's why I'm just hoping all this is getting recorded.
I don't know if you guys are tuning in. If you guys can hear us, please let us know. Make some comments.
So
and
yesterday,
let us know. You can call in. You can text us. Let us know if you can hear us, because it looks like we can hear ourselves. The instruments are picking things up, but we're not hearing ourselves. And usually, can you guys hear ourselves here?
Yeah, when we go,
I can't.
as
I'm standing 2 feet away from you. I can hear you.
I can hear you fine. Yeah.
yeah, as soon as we go to break, we'll correct that here in 4 minutes. But sorry viewers about the technical difficulties. We lost Alex. He went to the sports show, so now it's just me and RawNe toughing it out, and we're gonna get this right and correct for you guys, so you guys deserve the type of morning show yeah, you deserve it. Anyways, yeah, beaches, man. Let me tell you about that San Diego beach. It was so nice. It had, like, you know how Santa Cruz Beach, you go and they'll have like a wave like psh, like 10 feet out, like a big ass wave. Psh.
Right.
San Diego's waves were like in layers. Like the big ones were all the way in the back, and then there was like medium ones here, and then medium ones here, and then, like, you know what I'm saying, here.
That's
so
bogus surfing.
Okay,
is
so
what, they call that.
what we did,
you
the
could
whole
walk
purpose of
out
that was
like
because
50 yards and still
wanted
be up
to
to here
teach
in water.
him, and I wanted to wave jump. I wanted to literally just be in the waves, go wave jumping. And he was like, I've never done that. I was like, what? You've never done that? I was like, you've got to try this.
Never went that far.
You've got to try this. So I was like, yeah, let's go out to some warmer waters. And that's where San Diego came into play. And then we were able to just...
It was still cold.
Not too bad, though.
Still
then
cold.
we were able to...
cold.
Go
it was
into
not
the waves
warm
and, like,
at all.
And head on out, like, out from the shore into the ocean. And so getting to the point where, you know, you don't feel the ground beneath your feet anymore. And, you know, we got close to that, so... But it got a little nerve-wracking seeing fish jump around sometimes. You know, it was nice.
Oh, damn, fish.
And then the water was kind of clear. The water...
That's cool, though. That's what makes going to the ocean.
The water was so clear, like, when it was at my waist, I could look down and see the rocks, you know.
Yeah.
I was like, this is nice. I've never done nothing like that. So that was the day at the beach. The other days, one day we went to Mexico, and then we were just one day we looked for mics and they were all canceled. Like, they had, San Diego has a website for open mics, and then they're like, oh, this one's canceled, this one's not around. So their website needs a little bit of updating, but other than that, yeah, it was real cool. And
you should have let me know you were going down there, dude. I know people down there.
it was a short trip.
Yeah.
It was just a spur of the moment thing. So I was just like, spur of the moment, Mike, let's do it. We didn't plan none of those days out or anything. We were just there and just kind of like, what do you want to do today?
All right, well, next time you go, let me know, because seriously, the third dude that usually travels with us when we do our
Is
best
from
friends
San Diego?
is from San Diego.
Yeah.
He literally lives like a 10-minute walk from downtown.
Oh yeah, and their downtown is huge, man. Yeah. It's nice, man. San Diego is nice. Artwork everywhere. I love that. And then the clubs pumping like
That's some interesting hookah bars. They had really nice artwork everywhere. I was just so amazed, and I love artwork. I love looking at the artwork in other cities. Like, that's kind of one of my big things I love to do, is seeing like what is just so blatantly in your face. Like, we love art, we're gonna rep that and we're gonna put it out there. So San Diego has it everywhere, and to the point where they utilize all their space very well. They have this whole park that has tons of artwork, like graffiti and all kinds of artwork that's just all under the freeways.
A lot
so
of
all
murals.
the freeways are painted up, and you know, the park's under there, and it's just, they got cool structures.
Art on everything.
Really
it doesn't matter where you're where you are in the city. Like the mailboxes, this, that. Like, you could, and it's nice. It's not tacky and ghetto art. It's like
right. Well, they're tacky ghetto parts of San Diego, but the nice thing about San Diego is there's so many cultures coming together, because you got Mexico, you got Eastern Asia. Everybody comes together there, and it's the really nice thing about it.
There you go.
It's not only diverse, but it's also familiar, if that makes sense. Like you'll see different things, but you won't see different things that are so different it's foreign, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that definitely makes sense. Can you turn it down one day? It's good.
Like, you'll see.
Thank you.
Like, you know, you'll go there, and like you said, you'll see like, you know, like lowrider murals and stuff on the wall, but it's like, we're used to it because we see that kind of stuff. It's just down there. It's closer to the heartland.
It was, since we're in Northern Cali, it was like overwhelming. Like, yeah, you could tell you're in Southern Cali now. Like, SoCal, it's just complete opposites in Northern California. Other than that, all the blue, it was so blue. San Diego is so blue. That's a great word to explain it. Even the mirrors, they're like, you got to put 50% of blue into your pictures. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's so blue, you know, just like as Stockton is so red. so blue out there. It's just everybody, everybody wearing blue.
Well, you're south of Fresno over there.
SoCal.
I know,
It's
and
so
it's
SoCal.
and it is SoCal, and it makes you feel like, wow, I'm in San Diego. Like, yeah, like, oh snap, like
I got a little bold with the border. I'm not gonna lie. We took our birth certificates and
She
everything.
was crazy. I would
in
never have done what she
preparation
done.
of making sure that we were gonna get back because I really I wanted to step on over and check it out, and I was like, yeah, I really don't want to bring my birth certificate because I feel like there's really, I sound American. I think I look American as far as like how all that goes, and like it shouldn't be a problem with me just taking my California ID and heading on over. So the guy kind of stopped me. They had rifles and everything, which was very interesting that they are totally armed.
It's just a toll booth. I got a machine gun. No big deal.
Yeah, just keep on walking by. Just don't do anything crazy because I might shoot you. No, but it was really interesting. So I just took my ID. He was like, "Yeah, you need a passport." I was like, "I don't have a passport." And he was like, "Okay, we'll just let him know. You go to this line." And I ended up going through and didn't go too far because I was kind of scared to take the taxis.
I was scared,
and the buses.
man.
I didn't want to
Dude,
go.
I'm not gonna lie.
Out
I was
and
in Mexico,
not know
but
how
as
to
soon
get
as I
back.
stepped over and started walking into town and stuff, TJ, I was like scared. I was watching everything like, what? Wait, you look like you up to something. Like you're plotting on me. Like I was scared. I had to buy a drink as soon as we got to Mexico. I bought some tequila. I don't know what I get. Some something that was clear, and I had the soda. I was like, I need to loosen up and just be loose, And I drank my drink, and I was out there like, hey, I'm in Mexico. MFers, I'm playing. I'm here.
But it was good. And coming back, they were like, well, you don't have, so I didn't have my birth certificate. I didn't have a passport. I just had my ID. They said, okay, you're in the wrong line. Go in that other line. So I had to wait again in another line, which there was a lot of people. But that they were just like, yeah, okay. And I just had a casual conversation with the guys at the desk, and they're like, well, do you have anything? And I was like, everything I had was in one bag, and there really wasn't much, so they're like, yeah, okay. And I just got right back over. And
well, you have an ID, and what also helps is that you're a veteran, so when they pull your name up in their database, they could see, you know what I'm saying, they put everything on your ID in the system, bloop 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 bloop. Because with my
well, they ask nowadays, it's because it's a new thing with the DMV, and here in California it's a new thing that you can put that you're a veteran or not, but I chose not to.
Why?
Why should I have to have a veteran marker saying and try to get special status for that?
And you don't. But when I had my military ID and I get pulled over, I wouldn't even show them my driver's license. I would just be like, here, and they'd be like, oh, you know what? Get out of here.
Well, I do that when
Get out of here.
when I'm on away on orders for the most part. I don't really give them that when I'm home. So, but I carry myself as such, and I kind of let it be known. So, in a sense that it's just one of those things where you're like, hey, but I don't really try to
But you got back, so it's
yeah.
okay. You got back, no issues. And I was just
And
I was gonna leave you too. I was
had the
like, why wouldn't you
experience.
bring your birth certificate? She was like, can you go back into America, go get it for me, and come back? No. This is
But he didn't even want to. He didn't even want to go through the door for it. So they have this revolving door. I have this video. I'd have to share it with
my
you. But
goodness,
it's like
y'all
this long corridor, like you're going into
believe
jail.
how
it feels
scary
like. And
it
it's
was.
This big concrete corridor.
The only
and it
thing
has
in my
a
mind
revolving
was
door.
locked up abroad.
Right. That's kind of what it looks like.
I was like,
because it's a gate. You know
it was
how you
like,
go
bye
to the
America.
fair? You know how you go to the fair and it's like bars and it's the
yeah,
revolving doors just like bars.
Oh
and
my
And so you
goodness.
go through and it's just bars. So basically once you
go through, it's like locked, and it's like bye America,
having
Mexico.
to go through the whole
Hello
thing,
Mexico.
the whole little maze. And it was so funny because I was video recording it, and then the guard that was down there was laughing because he was way in the back. He was like, he's scared.
And then when I left, there was a guard. He was like an American guard
That
with
was
his
that
gun
guy.
and stuff. And he was like, oh dang, bro, I seen you coming in here. He was like, you looked hella nervous. And I was like, I was leaving, and I was like, wait, you seen that? I was like, what are you talking about? He was like, how was it? You had fun? And I was like, yeah, it was cool. It was cool. I remember we got alcohol for real cheap in my comparison. Like we got 2 margaritas and 2 Coronas for $6.
$8.
$8.
Dude, they got bars there where it's
It
$10.
was 2 for
all you
1.
can
The
drink.
margaritas. I ordered a margarita and they brought me 2, and I was like, why are you bringing me 2? They're like, it's
2
2
for
for 1.
1.
I was like, okay.
2 for 1. We got a taco.
But it was great because it was great.
I went to vacation once in Ensenada, and we found a place where it was for $1. You got a coronita, a little teeny tiny taco, and like one of those little baby shots of tequila.
Oh, nice.
For how much? Oh, $1?
$1.
What?
And
That's like a Jack in the Box deal.
We should all take a trip
it
out
was
there.
right
and do it
across
again.
from the
Yes.
hotel, and it was right next to the Pharmacia, and we literally
The
probably
Farmacia.
and
They
then-
had a lot of those.
I want to go into town though, where the zebras were.
You should go into like Rosarito and stuff. Like it's about 20 minutes south of Tijuana, but you have to take a car into Mexico.
See, we didn't want to take the car because
Yeah,
we
we
didn't
didn't
want to
wanna
get caught at the
because you
border.
got you don't want to get caught.
So we decided to park closest to the border, and then we got out and we walked.
Did
And
you? Well, that's I really like that walk though. When you go over the border,
It
on
is
that,
nice.
on that thing, it's
Mhm.
really cool. Like
Yes.
it's.
It is.
I always think of that scene in No Country for Old Men when he throws the.
Oh, yeah.
You know what? But is driving even safe? I read so much stuff. I was,
Well, I saw the congestion.
I was like, they want my Versa.
Oh
They want it.
You are from St. Louis.
They
aren't
want
you?
my Versa.
You're like, oh, cops with machine guns can't go to.
No, even the police are like crooked out there. I want to pull me over and be like, "Give me 100 or go to jail." And like, what?
Well,
I don't
what-
even have that.
When
bro.
we went on our trip to Ensenada, it was for a wedding, and one of the kids that was in the wedding party went to the beach and was riding the donkeys and the zebras and stuff, and he got bucked off of a horse, and his family took him to the hospital, and we had to go to the hospital with him, but there wasn't room to go, so we had to go in a Mexican police car. Like the cops were like, "We'll give you a ride to the hospital," and they were like, we all got smashed.
They were cool?
Yeah, they're totally cool, but we were like, caged back in the cop car.
Yeah,
locked,
lucky
couldn't
that
get
they were
out.
cool about it.
Like they totally put
Oh.
us in it, and they're like, "Hey, have you guys seen this part of town or this part of town?" And we were like, "No," and they seriously cruised the strip, hanging out the window, yelling at the girls. The
cops were doing that?
Yeah, they're like, "That's the good Farmacia right there," all that kind of stuff, and they're totally
Okay,
awesome.
quick question. Do you speak Spanish?
Uno poquito.
Uno poquito. Okay, not
Like
fluent.
I spoke enough to be able to score like some weed. I spoke enough to be able to order some food and ask where the bathroom and the beach was,
There
but
you
like
go.
that's really about it.
Okay, not too bad.
Yeah, she could speak, so I was like, "What do you say? What do you say? What do you say?"
Well, luckily I was able to.
She's talking about you, Marcelis. That's what she said.
Because he
I feel like
couldn't
he's looking
communicate
at
with
me.
anybody, and I was like, no, I
He's
gotta have
looking
some
at-
kind of communication out here. I can't just not. Talk to anybody. So I had, we were asking for directions. It was the best place to go. Like, what about the buses? Like,
That's
just,
what you were asking? I would never have let you ask that. Like, he's gonna know we're not from here.
I'm not from here.
Walk
and,
like a Mexican.
I'm alone in a foreign
Walk
country.
like a
Can you
Mexican.
help
Start
me, sir?
working. Start working on something.
Is that what you do? The Coming to America?
Next time you go, Renee, get Marcelis some chicles. So he can just blend in. He can be selling
I'll have
chicles on
a-
a corner.
I have
That way
on the
you
go
feel
taco
more.
truck.
Kids sell the chicles.
I'm
out
gonna have
there.
corn in my bag. Like,
You gotta have a fruit
You
stand.
can tuck your legs and
cut
ride
some
around on a
pineapple and some
skateboard like you don't have
coconut
legs. People give you money.
oh my goodness.
We did find in that area there is a little plaza, and there was a bus station type spot where you can go in and get a bus ticket and go somewhere. But it goes all the way to Stockton, and so they had Stockton, Turlock. They had all of our cities on their little
That sounds like it'd be a very.
there in
I didn't see
Tijuana.
Turlock or Modesto, but I
So
definitely seen Stockton. in like,
Basically, I did see Turlock.
10.
And basically, what they do is you can catch a bus straight out of Stockton, head straight to Tijuana. It's like a 12-hour trip, and it's $79. So it's $100 and something round trip. Like I think she was like 136 or something.
Was it
kinda
Greyhound or was it some ratchet
Nope, it was-
buses with like cages of chickens and shit?
No,
if there's
it
chickens,
was-
I want a discount.
Yeah. It was just a different named company. So, but it was kind of like a Greyhound service. Yeah. But anyways, let's go to break. When we come back, we'll get to the horoscopes, daily quotes, and daily instructions.
Let's do it.
All right. Let's do it.
Peace, everybody. We'll be right back.
Confessions of a Potentially Perfect Parent, brought to you by AdoptUsKids.org.
I might look like an adult, like a person who could possibly be a parent, but I have no idea how to talk like one. And everyone knows that if you want to be a parent, you have to sound good when you say things like, "Don't make me turn this car around," or "because I said so," or "Don't make me come back there." I don't even really know what those things mean, but I know that I actually believed my parents when they said them to me. How did they manage to sound so convincing? Here we go. "Don't make me come back there." Oh, no, that's not tough enough at all. Kids can sense weakness. "Don't make me come back there." Ooh, yeah, that's better. In fact, that kind of sounded like my dad. Weird.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who would love to listen to you practice your dad voice. Call 1-888-200-4005 or visit AdoptUsKids.org for more information. This message brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt Us Kids, and the Ad Guide.
You're listening to
KXVS.
KXVS. KXVS.
KXVS.
The voice of Stockton.
Hot damn. See you licking frozen from your own hands. Want another taste of bacon? Yes. Oh no.
You're listening to
KXVS.
KXVS. KXVS.
KXVS.
The voice of Stockton.
Hot damn. See you licking frozen from your own hands. Want another taste of bacon? Yes.
I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up, live out the true meaning of its creed, that all men are created equal.
Yeah, fist in the air, screaming power to the people. Love that brother, we're supposed to be equal. But it feels like I'm living in the sequel, cause it's 2016 and they still killing my people. 400 years of slavery, preparing for a part 2. Be back with more killings just shortly after the preview. This is on repeat, but I ain't talking about the TV. I'm talking about the same attack that's coming from the intermediate hunger in the trees. Now they kill us in the streets. They used to wear sheets, now they dress like police. And I ain't scared to go to war, just let me live in peace. I ain't scared to go to war, just let me live in peace. See, we need another Hugh, we new freedom songs to sing. Another Martin Luther King to bring us another dream. They treat us so cold, now it's time to raise the heat. Become a nightmare, make it hard for niggas to sleep. Yeah, time is up, and enough is enough. Cause I done had it up to here, sure enough. And you can keep your system, and only God I trust. And I can hear Michael Jackson singing, "They don't really care about us." Moment of silence. Let's go. Yeah, we shall not be moved. Yeah, we shall not be moved. If all lives matter, I ain't seeing the proof. I remember seeing hands up, don't shoot. R.I.P. Emmett Till. I can't understand. Rice, Garner, Oscar, R.I.P. Sandra Bland might talk to him. Yeah. Let's go. Yeah. Killing our sons and killing our daughters. Ezel Ford, Dante, Scott, John Crawford, Tanisha Anderson, Philando, Gurley. One more time, no justice, no peace. Austin, Robinson, Bryson, White. My life matter. I ain't going down without a fight. Brown, Gray, Dontre. Starting the day, man. Gonna have to change. You can keep your system, and only God I trust. And I can hear Michael Jackson singing. And you can keep your system, and only God I trust. And I can hear Michael Jackson sing. They don't really care about us. Some things in life they just don't wanna see. Moment of silence. Being shot 4 times by a police officer, despite the fact that the victim Let's go.
Suspicious.
RawNe, Sam Raw in the house. DJ Caution on the beat. YP in the mix. 209 love. The 209 shine. I wait today. I step in my place. The into my zone in my God-given space. I'm walking this earth no matter where I roam. My shine so bright, I'm cracking demons' domes. I'm sending them back inward. Hellward bound in ya. Yeah, about that life, none of your suckers come by. Cause electrical zaps of an ultimate joy gon' touch ya. Gon' fill your mind with the goodness. Gon' feed your spirit with the newness. Breaking them daggers coming from your eyes till they bleed out the source. And you're hypnotized by the light sword, by the love source, by the goodness and the kindness of my force, by the sweetness and the brightness of my orb. Liquid love touch you like the light that run through this body of mine. In a theta wave, alpha wave, beta wave blue. Too smooth, so west coast. In my chillin' mood, my town with my updo, my whole truth. Don't misconstrue what all I can do. I've released everything that's subdued in me. My energy is free, no shade that's thrown gon' break me. I'm a sunlit cherub, vivacious in life, and I'm living my life illuminating. Finding all my messengers of music and love coming together, congregating, mutilating, incinerating all the mofo bits that don't faze me. You can't kill the shine, you can't dull the shine. When you throw the shade, you can catch my fade. You can't kill the shine, you can't dull the shine. When you throw the shade, you can catch my fade. You can't kill the shine, you can't dull the shine. When you throw the shade, you can catch my fade.
Catch my fade. You can't kill the sun, you can't dull the shine. When you throw the shade, you can catch my fade. Saying raw on the mic like I just pulled a grenade. My thoughts is on spade and my tongue is a blade. I should probably be in jail for all the rappers I slay. I spit so nasty, made my tooth decay. I make you put your hands up like they do in a raid. My recitals vital, spitting verses for the street Bible. Yo, shit is on idle. Sucking MCs is my rival, and I'm liable to retire you. I admire you cause you trying to, but you lying, dude. You ain't with them guns and you ain't sliding through. Nobody's trying to whack you, nobody's hiding from you. So here's some advice, you're not nice, your rhymes up. Give your boy back the track and turn minds up. Then come catch this fade with the razor blade line up. Who's up next? Next up to bat, me, I'm up.
You can't kill the shine, you can't dull the shine. When you throw the shade, you can catch my fade. You can't kill the shine, you can't dull the shine. When you throw the shade, you can catch my fade. You can't kill the shine, you can't dull the shine. When you throw the shade, you can catch my fade. You can't kill the shine, you can't dull the shine. When you throw the shade, you can catch my fade.
Catch my fade.
Hey, if it doesn't feel right, then it ain't. And all I felt before was hate. But then you came along and erased. Then all I wanted to do was create, and I did. But the truth is we did this together. Who says love isn't forever? My heart flies, it doesn't flutter. I stay dry, cause you're my umbrella.
Everyone has a chance to do right. Yes, we can make it if we keep it tight. As we look back on the things that we've done, we can be sure that a new thing's begun. Everyone has a chance to do right. Yes, we can make it if we keep it tight. As we look back on the things that we've done, we can be sure that a new thing's begun.
I feel like we should be doing something to help what's happening. We can't just sit here slacking, steady acting like we don't understand
Why are we acting like this? No more being foolish, we can do this. I keep waiting, my heart's pacing. Time is precious, time is fading.
What are we now? What will we become? Gotta keep my head up, even when I'm feeling down.
Feel like we should be doing something to help what's happening. We can't just sit and slack and steady acting like we don't understand how to fix it. Why are we acting like this? No more being foolish, we can do this.
Go your way, gonna go your way. But what you gonna do when it gets late? Go your way, gonna go your way. But what you gonna do when it gets late? Yeah, 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 yeah.
Hey, if it doesn't feel right, then it ain't. And all I felt before was hate. But then you came along and erased, yeah. Then all I wanted to do was create, and I did. But the truth is we did this together. Who says love isn't forever? My heart flies, it doesn't flutter. I stay dry cause you're my umbrella.
Feel like we should be doing something to help what's happening. We can't just sit and slack and steady acting like we don't understand how to fix it. Why are we acting like this? No more being foolish, we can do this. I keep waiting, my heart's pacing. Time is precious, time is fading.
What are we now? What will we become? Gotta keep my head up, even when I'm feeling
Feel
down.
like we should be doing something to help what's happening. We can't just sit and slack and steady acting like we don't understand how to fix it. Why are we acting like this? No more being foolish, we can do this.
Go your way, gonna go your way. But what you gonna do when it gets late? Go your way, gonna go your way. But what you gonna do when it gets late? Yeah, 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 yeah. Everyone has a chance to do right. Yes, we can make it if we keep it tight. As we look back on the things that we've done, we can be sure that a new thing's begun. Everyone has a chance to do right. Yes, we can make it if we keep it tight. As we look back on the things that we've done, we can be sure that a new thing's begun.
Hey, Bud, come back here. I told you not to be going.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome back from our short break. We had to go and take care of some business outside, if you know what I'm saying. Anyways, I'm glad that the viewers are all back. We are here with myself, Marcelis, Flores, my co-host, RawNe. Shouts out, whoop, whoop. And our special guests today, Jimmy and Felicia, comedians Jimmy and Felicia. We are on a mission today. We are, after the show, going to drive 7 hours north to, I forgot the name of the city.
Crescent City.
Crescent City! We're going to be near the beach. We're going to have a great show, and we're going to make things happen. Right now, though, we are about to get into horoscopes, so we're going to see how our destiny for the day is.
Okay.
Let's get into it, RawNe.
Okay, so Libras, it's your season. So it says, it's not too late to change your mind, especially if you've noticed a few too many discrepancies between your theories and reality lately. Don't be too hard on yourself, however. Evolving your thinking and adjusting to the facts on the ground involves trying many different ideas and, yes, making lots of mistakes. How could you learn otherwise? Go ahead and keep trying. You'll find the right balance very soon.
That sounds very vague.
Yeah.
Very, huh?
It
That could be
on,
anybody.
Yeah, it could be. Well,
don't be so flaky, Libra.
It's like they couldn't find a horoscope to make, so they were like, "What's just gonna, play this out?"
Okay, so Aquarius, we have luck's got nothing to do with it. It's okay, Felicia. You can just leave it there.
Felicia breaks the fan.
Luck's got nothing to do with it. Aquarius. That's what you tell people anyway, though you know that sometimes, like today, you get all the breaks. The universe is all but writing you a guarantee that things go your way all day today. So if you've been wanting to take a chance, now is definitely the time to do it. Go ahead and explore as much as you can. When fate opens the door for you, it's best to step through quickly.
Aquarius.
Is that what was that?
That was Aquarius.
Oh, Aquarius.
Okay, so
I'm loving
when's
it,
your
man.
birthday?
I'm in March. I'm Pisces.
Were you the
You're
Libra?
Pisces.
I'm a
Okay.
Libra, yeah.
Oh, so you're a Libra.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good. I was like, who is a Libra?
Mine is
In
always
fact,
last.
tomorrow
So
is
your
my
birthday's
birthday.
March.
Really?
March 3rd.
Happy
March
birthday!
3rd.
Happy early birthday!
Yeah.
Oh,
When is your birthday
October, or no,
Tomorrow.
September
Tomorrow.
30th. No.
Yeah, September 30th.
Happy birthday.
I'll be the big
Yes.
4-0.
Nice.
What?
Happy
Yeah.
birthday.
Double twomp.
No way, Jimmy. There's no way you're not 40.
If I had my wallet on me, I would show you my ID.
Oh my goodness.
My
Why did I think
goodness.
you were
I was born in 77.
Why did I think you were
same year of
older?
punk rock
Did we
and Star
go
Wars.
through this before already?
We have gone through this.
Yeah, we have. That's why I'm like, why do I think you're older if I know you're not? I was just like, my head's like, nah. Like, nah. I'm playing.
Okay, Pisces. Here you go, Felicia. You're committed to doing the right thing, but you may not know if you have the spiritual strength to see it through right now. You do, of course, but you may need to take a leap of faith. Having courage doesn't mean being unafraid, but it does mean acknowledging the fear and doing what needs to be done anyway, simply because you know it has to be done. Take a deep breath and jump into the breach.
Just got to go out there and kick some butt.
That's right.
Take some names.
Sounds like they know you. They're all take a deep breath and then do it.
Yeah, that's right. Baptize yourself.
Clench and go.
Clench and go, yeah.
So I recently went out hiking and we went to the river, and in the river, like there's really great pockets where standing on the rocks, I like to go rock jumping, climbing kind of thing. So, and usually it's around the water. So, but going and like seeing these different views and like at different angles, it made me just want to like jump in, but it was like freezing cold water because this is like melted snow.
Oh, yeah.
Coming down from the mountaintops, like into these rivers. So we got cold water up here, right? So I'm like, it's freezing, but I really wanted to be in the water. And my friend was with me and she was just like, just baptize yourself. And I was like, that's a good way of thinking about it, actually. And I was able to just like go in, walk in, and I just like for a second, like just braced myself and just dipped. And I was like, oh, but it was so nice because once it came out, it was like really refreshing.
I can't do cold water. Like
I can't, but it, you know, and I also thought about there's health benefits to it because I've read up that there's health benefits to really cold water. But either way, I just wanted to experience it. So that's what that was all about.
I've always wanted to do the Polar Bear Club.
Oh, what?
What is that?
It's where they cut a hole in the ice and you jump in the water.
I've heard of
No,
many people doing that.
you could lose your
They
life.
gotta like tie a
No,
rope
they do
around
that.
you
You could
in
lose
case
your
you
life.
pass out. They can pull you out and stuff.
no,
Yeah.
they
No,
do.
like there's clubs that
They
go
do
with-
that like in Montana and like
Yeah.
up in the cold states.
I don't want to.
Like I've been in Lake Tahoe.
What's
when
the
there was snow
thing?
on the ground, but there was no ice on the
No,
water.
What's
these
the
are,
point?
These are
What
where
do you
lakes
get?
and lakes freeze
What do you
over.
get? Is
Like
it
it's
just a
so
club?
cold there that the lakes freeze over that they
Shrinky-dink?
literally have to drill a
What do you
hole.
win?
You don't win
Nothing.
anything.
You don't
It's the experience. That's the element they live in. That's
Kind of like the.
It's kind of like people who live in snow, they play in snow. People who live in the sun, they play in the sun. People who live in the jungle play in the jungle. People who live in the ice play in the ice.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
They can handle it. Okay, so Leos.
Leo.
Here you go again. Just when you thought you were through with all that made-up silliness involving love and romance and other Hollywood brainwashing, new inspiration lands practically at your feet. Whether you're meeting someone new or just noticing something incredibly cute about the one you're with, expect to drive others crazy with your new emphasis on the sweeter side of life.
Oh wow.
Aw, because I'm going to share love, and I do every day pretty much anyways.
Oh, you're a Leo?
You're a Leo?
I'm a Leo.
I should have been able to tell by your hair.
So there you guys go. That's your few.
What about the other 9
So the
people?
other people can go to astrology.com as we explain to them every day. So astrology.com has your horoscopes. You can also find other things like daily Chinese horoscope, daily singles, daily work, things of that nature that pertain to your sign's energy. So there
Winning
you go.
lotto numbers?
Possibly, you never know.
Possibly.
It says daily finance, so you can go to Libra daily finance.
Yeah,
and
lottery
see
ticket
what
is how
it
I do
says.
my finances.
Yeah. That's my 401k.
Oh, there you go. So Friday, September 29th, daily quote is by Sigmund Freud. And he says, nice to have a Freud. This is literally a Freudian slip.
I'm like,
Freudian-
what? What's that?
Sigmund Freud, Freudian slips. Okay, Freudian quotes. One day, in retrospect, the years of struggle will strike you as the most beautiful. Hey. So let's
That's
struggle
cool.
together. Enjoy your struggles, people.
Because the trees only get the rain on the inside from years that they burn on the outside.
On the inside, on the outside.
What? Excuse me?
You didn't know that?
So
the
the-
rain's in a tree.
Oh, the
You know,
rains. I actually said rain. I was like, excuse me?
You know, that's really interesting that you say that because I was wondering because I had recently gone to big trees and I was like, why are they turning black and burning from the inside out?
No, what they do is they burn, and that's where you get the fat layers, and then as it grows,
It's very interesting.
you can tell how many fires a tree has been through.
That's very interesting. Well, maybe there's just
You gotta
fires,
carve
but then
into
maybe
it, though.
they've
So-
been through a lot of fires then, all those trees that we saw.
Next up, we got a lot of fire. Well, some were struck by lightning when I went to big trees. Like, you could see the trees that were just pow. Could you imagine staying in a forest like that in a lightning storm? Just how dangerous it would be.
Yeah.
Like, pow. Your partner being in a tree, like, oh, pow. He was a little bit taller. Okay, life is so the light.
Marcel's
Like if
just
you're
gonna
short-
take tall people with him.
Yeah.
You get hit by lightning, I'm good over here.
I'm cool, man.
I got braces, guys. I'm screwed.
Oh man, you seen that? Okay.
I like to play in the ocean even during summer storms, and even if there's lightning, I don't even care.
Oh, that's
I'm all
crazy.
about
People
that
tell
too.
me
I
it's
swim in the
crazy,
lightning
That's
too. I don't
crazy.
care. I don't know why.
because it's a
I'll swim in the
beautiful
pool in the
experience.
lightning, but not in the ocean. That's more of a chance. I feel like if that hits all the way over
What
there.
if you get bit by a shark and hit at the lightning at the same time?
It's
and you
not your
become, like,
day.
super
It's,
shark.
it's not your day.
Kill yourself.
And the shark. Okay.
Okay, life's little instruction calendar classics. So, life's instruction quote for the day is life is a movie. Don't accept a supporting role. And that was actually for Thursday, which we weren't here. So, life is a movie. Don't accept a supporting role.
Yes, because you are the main character, and this is my life, and
This
I'm
is
the
your
star.
movie. This is your movie. That was for Thursday. Today is Friday. So, when bored, call a friend. Invite him or her to dinner. Oh, if it was like to Netflix and chill, I'd be like, yes. But they said to dinner. Oh, just food. Sounds expensive. Sounds like an expensive, boring habit.
Yeah, it sounds like somebody just wants me to buy him dinner.
Yeah, like the
Or
instructional
her.
quote
Or her.
person is a girl and she's not getting nothing. She's just like, yeah, what should be September 29th?
I'm bored. Let me trick a guy into buying me dinner.
Yeah, like, let's trick a guy into...
Oh,
come on,
wow.
tricking, really?
Oh, so cynical of the women species of our side, right?
Well, you got to learn how to read between the lines is all I'm saying.
Well, you got to know what's genuine and what's not.
That's right.
Yeah.
Like on Tinder, when they say I'm a foodie, they just mean they want me to
Tinder
take them to
altogether
an
isn't
expensive
even
dinner.
genuine, so let's just get that out the list.
Yeah, Tinder is not for genuineness. It's for convenience and other things,
Yeah, I
I'd
think
like to
so.
say. But you know what? I would say there are people who probably don't know where to start on looking
Like,
for
so they
people.
trust it.
Yeah,
Yeah, so why
they
not
go with
use
it.
the
Yeah,
GPS
why
on
not?
my phone to find other horny, lonely people?
Oh my goodness, and that is what it is.
Well,
it is what it
hey,
is.
I didn't even think about that. That's kind of like some stalker type thinking, though. So if they're GPS on, they're techies, you know. If techie people know how to use the technology, and they're able to just go find the people that they're looking for. And if they are on Tinder and like they have a GPS location, maybe they take pictures. Have you ever noticed lately, if you have an iPhone, or I don't know if the other phones do this, but with iPhone, if you take a picture, it'll actually timestamp and GPS stamp your picture. So when you go through scrolling, it'll tell you where you took your picture, what time, what day, like, and in the city. It's really interesting. Actually kind of cool though, because then in the event that somebody was like gone missing and like was able to snap pictures, like, this is where I am, come find me, please.
Snapchat. If you ever get kidnapped, you heard just log in.
Just
log
keep
in.
snapping pictures.
Just keep going. Hold your thumb down just all the way through the video. People are gonna watch it, like rewatch it, like 10 times,
There we
like
go. That's the next
before
new
doing
movie, by
anything.
the
Or
way.
people, you know what I would do? I'll slide up. You okay?
That'll be the next movie.
Dude,
You're so
call
funny.
me. Call me. Are you
Like
okay?
the worry face emoji, or like thinking like,
They don't got time for all
What's
that.
going
They just
on?
need to take a picture. Yeah, but no. So we are here. Your girl RawNe, Marcelis, Flores here, your morning show crew, and we have our special guests Jimmy and Felicia, who are comedians in the area. And the three of these guys are going to be taking off to Crescent City for a show that they're going to be having. And I think it's pretty awesome to have them with us and just to kind of give us some background as to who you are and how you got into comedy and like basically what has led you to be in these seats today.
Well, RawNe, I work at... I'm playing. Go ahead, guys.
When I was 5. Felicia?
Okay, I can go first. Well, let's see. I haven't been doing comedy for that long. I've been doing it for like about a year and a half, and I'm actually really old. I started when I was 46. So, it was just something that I've always wanted to do as far as doing stand-up.
I would say really old. We should eliminate those things from our
Well, no, because I mean, I really am. I mean, look at like Marcelis. He's the average age of most of the people who are at my thing.
Yeah,
and
but
like,
that's okay. But if you think about it,
I like to say I'm young.
It's a playground for all ages. It doesn't even matter. So
Well,
that's
it's
just when you came to the playground, so to speak.
It's not an
you know?
advantage in a sense to where she's trying to get that 10,000 hours
experience.
to master something. You got to do it an amazing amount, a lot, to reach that number.
Yeah.
But the nice thing about it is there's a certain urgency where, you know...
Exactly.
You don't got time to
you're
fool
saying
around, so
that
let's get it done.
you came to this area a little bit after other people.
Yeah, and so like Jimmy says, I feel like I have to push harder because like the clock is ticking for me a lot faster than it is for, you know, somebody who's half my age
I don't
who
know.
has more
There's
time.
freak accidents happen all the time, and people just so everybody's days are the same. You know what I mean? Whether it's
I feel old. I feel like people like there's in St. Louis there's kids like this dude Andrew Frank, hilarious headliner, but he was when he was a headliner, he was 23. I'm about to be 23, and well by the time I turn 23, I want to be able to do at least one headline show. But he's like doing this anyways because he started like when he was 16, just off like public speaking.
So that's
little
that
things.
starting.
So
yeah,
exactly. I feel like starting at 19. Like when I started at 19, I was like. I felt like how you were saying you feel. So I was like you don't have time because like Eddie Murphy was doing this at 22, but then you hear stories about people who do it for 30 years and they'll get discovered at 60.
And then they're working all their life
people
still
who start at 50, different stories. There's like, everybody has a different kind of story.
Well, like Rodney Dangerfield was like in his 50s. Roseanne was
there
in
you
her
go.
40s.
Our buddy Frank, he's...
Clint Eastwood didn't get started till he was 27, almost 30.
Right.
So
Harrison Ford was a carpenter and didn't start
So
acting.
here you are, and you're getting started. This is your arena now. And
So I've been doing it for like about a year and a half, and it was something I always wanted to do, but I was kind of like nervous about it. Especially because I was so much older. I had my daughter when I was really young, so like getting started in my 20s was just out of the question. And I wasn't going to do it. And then finally I'm like, well, I'm still breathing, so I don't think I'm too old to do comedy. And that's what I just started going for it. Right. Yeah, I was just like, but Jimmy actually was my first open mic and my first show, my first book show. And Jimmy's helped me out a lot. So we've been road dogging it for a while, going out and hitting mics and things like that. But yeah, that's pretty much something. I never thought that I would actually do it. I thought I'd do like a couple of open mics and kind of get it out of my system. Like, oh, that's something I can check off my bucket list. I got it done. And it's like, no, I'm totally hooked.
Yeah.
Like once you start, you either like it and you have to do it all the time, or you're not going to do it. It just isn't worth it.
Nice. Okay, so now you're on a road trip, road dog, and your road dog.
Yeah.
Here, Jimmy.
Yeah.
So you hosted shows and mics, open mics.
Yeah, I've been doing comedy now a little bit over 7 years, and for about 5 years I call it producing shows because I spend other people's money, not my own, to make these shows happen. And I've been producing shows now for 5 years, and Felicia just hit me up out of the, well, we knew each other. We were friends, and she hit me up and said like, hey, you're doing that open mic I see out in Sonora at this place called the Gypsy Shack. Can I come out and do your open mic? And I said, sure, totally. You're always welcome to. And even if it's a show and you want just to do it for the first time, let me know. And I didn't hear from her again for like 2 or 3 months. I even bugged her a couple of times, like, hey, you going to come out and do this? And she'd be like, oh, my schedule's hectic right now. In fact, here's some tickets to go see Bobby Slayton because I can't go to it. So here, just so you know how busy I am. And I'm not willing at all. And so she finally comes out. She finally does the show. And for a first timer doing it, like, there are 2 or 3 different kinds of people who do comedy for the first time. There are people who friends convince them to do it.
Okay.
And those are usually the people that get up there and bomb really bad the first time. And
I've seen somebody who got encouraged to do it, but he actually did a really good job. But that's interesting. So I would not have expected that, right?
And then the other people who do it are 6 sociopaths who have some sort of death wish. And the third group of people who do it are the kind of people like Felicia who appreciate it as an art and appreciate it as
a form of expression.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. And kind of like, you know, like the guy in the band that stays in the band that he hates for 20 years because at least he's in a band. Like, it's like that idea where
he's getting to do what he wants to do.
Right.
Yeah.
And she came out, she did it, and I could tell that she sat down and wrote material and rehearsed it and practiced it and ran it by on her friends and did essentially what a real comedian would do with their material with their group of friends, because a comedian's only as funny as their group of friends. And she came out, she did it, she did really well, and I said, hey, would you like to do the show? And she said, sure. And I said, cool, do the show next month, and in the meantime do as many open mics as you can. And she looked me dead in the eye and said, I have no idea how to do that. And I said, well, Monday call me and we'll go do open mics. And we went and did some.
And so
open
that's
mics.
how you guys ended up rolling around
Yeah.
together.
Right.
Okay. So
Yeah.
nice. Okay. So and that was here in Stockton, Modesto,
It was in
Manteca?
Sonora.
Well, we know
Sonora.
each other from Modesto, but the show is in Sonora.
Okay.
And then when we started doing mics, it was in the Bay Area, Sacramento, Fresno. Because when I first started, I did an open mic in Modesto at a place called The Guru, which was run by Anthony K. And I decided that I was going to come back the next week and do that show again. And that next week, I know if I came back and I was better than I was the first time I was there, I was on to something. And I knew the only way I was going to get better from there to there was to practice in the middle. And this is the first time I'd ever been in a room with other comedians. And not only other comedians, but other comedians who were talking to me because I was a new guy. And everybody, and Felicia will know this, when you're the new guy, the first thing they ask is, hey, dude, you got a car? and you say, yeah, and all of a sudden everybody's like, hey, dude, let's go do this, let's go do that. So in that week between Tuesday and Tuesday, going to the Guru and going to the Guru again, I went and did 10 open mics in that week.
Nice.
And I went on one day with a guy named Rick James. I went on another guy with a guy named Lefty. I went with another guy named Roberto. And we just went to all these open mics, and I met
So many different people.
I probably met 500 people in that week.
Nice.
And I'm not BSing you.
I totally, yeah,
and
I can see that happening.
I'm the type of guy that'll put my hand in
Especially because if
everybody.
you're in different cities and you're going out into the cities too, and that's
Right.
kind of, yeah.
And when I first started, I was different than Felicia. Felicia sat down, wrote a bunch of material, rehearsed it, and appreciated it like an art form. I was a sociopath that got up there because I thought it was something to do. And I mean, don't get me wrong, I'd always wanted to do it. I had done a set years and years before, kind of by accident.
Yeah, why would you choose, if you did it just to do it, why would you choose the comedy over maybe just going into drama?
I had been playing music for
Or
years and
theater.
years.
Okay.
And in the course of life, I stopped playing music and became a Joe six-pack, work 9 to 5, commute 2 hours every day to work.
I know the feeling.
Company car, company gas card. They owned my ass, literally.
Right.
Told me where to go, what to do with my time.
Right.
They would literally call me on the phone and be like, hey, dude, you're driving 85 miles an hour right now in the company car. Slow down. They were on you.
Yep.
And I stopped playing music, and I no longer had a means to express myself. And I had accidentally gotten a chance to do stand-up comedy at a casino one time.
Accidentally got a chance.
Okay. I literally do comedy because of my mom.
Okay. So how did the accident happen?
We're at Black Oak Casino, and there used to be this show on TV called Street Smarts, and it was hosted by a guy named Frank Nicotero. And what they would do is they would find people on the street, and they'd ask them, general ed questions, and, smarter than a fifth grader type questions, and then they'd get it wrong, and then they'd go and make fun of them, and that was the show. And
You're familiar with this, Felicia?
No, I've never heard this story before.
Really? You never heard this?
No. Actually, I heard. No, wait a minute. Yeah, I have heard it.
You're
I remember
opening
now.
up.
So my mom's in the casino with me, and we see Frank Nicotero, the host of the show, walk by. And she jumps up out of her seat. My mom's got a bad leg. She's running. She chases him down.
Leg, mom's hobbling. Hey, wait a minute.
And she's all, hey, are you doing doing street smarts, I want to be on that show because my mom's smart and she's doing all the money.
She's like, I'm
and
your
she knows that.
candidate.
And he goes, no, actually, I'm a stand-up comedian. I'm doing a show tonight. Here's a couple tickets. And my mom goes, you know, my son's always talked about wanting to do stand-up comedy, which is something I've always talked about wanting to do. I did it once at a talent show in high school, but I literally just told a bunch of other people's jokes, and it was stupid.
It was decent.
It was stupid. It was a talent show in high school, whatever.
But you made it happen. They laughed.
Right. And everybody was like, "Oh, you're gonna be a stand-up comedian," blah blah blah.
There you go.
In my yearbook, somebody put like most likely to be a stand-up comedian. And all
So
kinds
it's always
of
been
stuff.
in the back of your mind.
Yeah.
Interesting.
If anything, it's always something that other people saw in me and not myself. And so my mom's all, that's something my son always wanted to do. And she starts telling him about how I did the talent contest. And he looks her dead in the eye and goes, "Is he funny?" And my mom goes, "He's effing hilarious." And my mom never cusses. And to hear her say that, it even took me aback. And like, he turns to me and he's all, is this him? And my mom's all, yeah. And he's all, "Come on, dude." And he grabbed me by my shirt like this. And he just took me to the back of the room, into the green room where they had all the pictures of all the comics bolted to the wall. And he sat me down and he was like, "Hey, dude, they're going to give you
And that was
a
your
couple-"
first time ever.
Yeah, they're like,
Oh,
we're going
what
to give
an
you 5
experience.
minutes. Talk really, really slow because it's going to seem like 5 minutes is going to be forever. You know, have fun. And the only piece of advice that he gave me was say all the funny stuff you say at parties. And went out there,
Nice.
started the show, went out there, did all my bits from the parties, which, I mean, you know, playing music for years, I had bits that I did at parties. I did out there. And I don't want to say I got a good response. To
Nice.
where when I went backstage.
And how old were you?
I was probably about 25.
Okay.
And I went in the back, and there's a couple twin brother guys that do comedy. They're called the Smash Brothers. They were the openers. And they both looked at me. They're like, "You've never done comedy before?"
Nice.
And I was like, they're like, "That's really the first time you ever done comedy?" And I'm like, "Yeah, that really is." And the dude gave me his number and said, "Call me next time. Anytime you have questions, anything, just call me. Stick with it. Don't ever quit." And
Nice.
I was in the green room. Frank Nicotero's on stage. I'm by myself in the green room. And all these pictures are bolted on the wall. Except one guy's headshot isn't bolted on the wall. And this guy's name is Bob Fernandez. So I stole it. And I hung it up in the hallway of my house. And I hung up in the
Because they
hallway.
didn't have it on the wall. He was like, "I'm taking somebody's picture."
I'm a memorabilia swag guy. I like to have memories and things that tie me
so
to
what's
like
the guy's name
moments
again?
of time. Bob Fernandez. I've actually done shows with him. I've actually told him, "Hey, dude, I have your old headshot that I stole off of the wall." I took it to him. I took it to him one time, and he signed it and laughed. And so that's like another weird of those.
By the way, I just happen to have your picture.
Yeah. I stole it. It's
So-
not creepy at all.
Yeah, no, I'm just a
I'm-
sociopath.
yeah.
I'd be
As
flattered.
to how you got started.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It hung up in my bathroom for a quick minute, but I had to, because every time I take a leak, you'd be all.
But very, very interesting how that all actually worked out and came back around.
Well, like I said, like, you know, everybody saw it in me and not myself. All these little coincidences and stuff. Like, I know it's going to sound really cliche and corny, but I know it's something I'm supposed to do. And as soon as I did it,
Well, you found your purpose.
I've had crazy deja vus of dreams that I've had when I was like 12 and 13 years old that have come true since then that had to do with comedy. Like when I met Roseanne, like that was a dream I had when I was like 12 years old that like when it was happening, it's like, "Oh my God, this is the dream I had when I was 12 years old." So anyways, long story short, I do that show. The host of the show says, "Hey, you're really funny. Come back next week for the show. I'll put you on." I come back the next week. I bomb my butt off. And he proceeds to try and sell me a workshop. And what I didn't do is I didn't stay with comedy. And like 7-8 years passed. Became Joe Sixpack, worked. And then I went to this open mic. I did it. I decided I was going to stick with it. And the next time I went back, I was going to get better. And I did the 10 mics in between. And I've been doing it ever since.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I can totally relate to Jimmy's thing about, like, you know you're in the right place. Like, seriously, once I started doing comedy, like, I felt like my mood was better. Like, everything, like, stuff totally unrelated in my life, everything just started falling into place. And it's like, yeah, this is my path. Like, this is where I was supposed to be.
Nice.
Yeah, so...
Just having an expression takes a lot of...
Yeah.
Or a means of expressing yourself. Just having that is... takes so much stress out of life.
And I'm so happy to hear that for you guys, how it's just like you feel so aligned with the universe right now. That's like awesome.
Especially in your art and the
yeah, because
you know
those
you
are
know where you're supposed to be, and you know it's a good spot.
those are some of the same feelings I have. So to hear that comedy could give somebody such a such a beautiful thing, it's awesome, man. And whatever, all the artists who come on the show, whatever they're doing, or the people in general that we bring on the show, when they're just at peace, like they know they're doing what they're supposed to do. That's very awesome. Can't wait to do the show with y'all tonight. Is it
I hope that we
tonight?
get to get a sneak peek back here in Stockton while you guys are out in Crescent City. So, where is it going to be held at? Where is the?
It's going to be at Enoteca in Crescent City. It's 960 3rd Street in the Harbor District, and we're going to start at 8:30. Doors. Well, it's a restaurant. It's going to be open, but they're going to start seating for the comedy at 8 o'clock. Full menu, full bars available, and it's going to be Marcelis, myself, Felicia. We got Josh Barnes, who is a Humboldt comic. He's going to be headlining, and our buddy Evan Vest, who I've done several shows with him now. He's a hilarious dude, and I like the dude so much. I just asked him to pop in and make me laugh, and he's going to do that. So.
That's nice. Yeah.
All right,
It's
so
pretty rad.
Yeah, dude, you're gonna like Evan a lot, dude. He's hilarious.
Oh, I can't wait.
He's the most chill dude you'll ever meet, man.
I cannot wait, man. But before we get up out of here, guys, where else could we find you? Because I know you guys are Modesto Comics. That's 209. Like, these people would love to laugh and love to.
Felicia has a weekly show.
Oh.
Yeah, I have. Right now, my boyfriend and I are doing a show weekly at CR2 in Modesto.
Is that open mic?
It's not an open mic.
Who's your boyfriend?
Oh, my boyfriend is Big Earl Matthews. He's a musician, and he has a couple of bands, Big Earl and the Crying Shame and the Poorhouse Millionaires. Plug. Yes. So,
shout out.
Yeah, but we've been doing this show, and it's a music show. We usually have 2 musical acts, but I open up the show with some comedy, and then in between bands, I do a little bit of set. And we're hoping, once we get a little bit more established and get some stuff in and kind of get the people used to the comedy, kind of try to bring in other comics, because, there's only so long I'm going to be able to do that. But, it's something that we're looking into. So, that's awesome. It's been really fun. We've been doing it for the first month, so it's gone pretty well.
Nice.
Then the last Wednesday of every month, Jimmy and I do the show at the Outpost Saloon in Waterford.
Oh yeah, I've been there.
Yeah,
it's a good show.
It's
Love
fun.
it. Love it.
So that's the last Wednesday of every month. More recently, let's see. Tonight I have Crescent City. Tomorrow I'm going to be at Comedy Machine in Oakland.
And what is that? A showcase or?
It's a contest actually. What it is you do 3 sets, and it's a knockout contest, and then the 4th set would be you and a finalist, and
and then if you win the contest, you not only win cash, but you go on to the showcase that they have that starts like half an hour, 45 minutes after.
Yeah, and that's the show that has guys that have been on TV or trying to get on TV.
Yeah. So are you guys going together to that? So
yeah, actually, it's my birthday, and I asked.
That's right.
I asked the host of the show for a guest set, and he was going to put me on at the Late Show, but they had a couple people drop out, and he buttered me up by saying he wanted strong comics in the competition. So I said I'd do the competition because he's the one giving me time, so
you guys
why not?
Doing the competition right after Crescent City. Okay.
Nice.
And then Monday, right? We're at Delirium in San Francisco.
Right, and that's with Warhol Kaufman. I almost called him by his real name. I don't know if he goes by that anymore. So I was like Barack Noel, but
but we'll be doing Delirium on Monday. Let's see.
And then I'm going to be starting a show out in Livingston at a bar called the Cozy Corner.
Sweet. Is that a showcase or an open mic?
It's going to be us doing comedy in the afternoon after football while the people were there getting ready for the night game.
Oh.
So the bar has decided they don't want to hear Chris Collinsworth talk, so they're going to turn that stuff off.
It's kind of like a happy hour.
How long in between?
Yeah, exactly. We're going to be performing like in the afternoon, like when people are eating between the late game and the early game, or the night game, and all
happy
that.
hour.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Happy hour comedy.
Sweet.
It's perfect. Cause
so
it's
is that an open mic or?
It's a book showcase at this point, but yeah, dude. Anytime you want to come out, dude, you're more than welcome.
Well,
for sure.
Marcelis, this month, usually the Waterford show is a showcase, but this month we are going to have it an open mic.
Right, because everybody out there is a farmer, and they're too busy with their harvest and taking care of their harvest at the end of October.
So you have October, like, hey, if you want to risk this. risk
Yeah.
this.
Right.
Well, and good practice. If they
There's-
want to come out and get some practice time and know that they're not going to have to, maybe they can come out and just.
And there's not as many people.
Yeah, you can get out and circulate, and then also it gives people opportunity who are out in that area to like listen to new incoming comedians as well.
And that crowd is great too. Like they'll tell us, "Oh yeah,
you guys
bring
are
that."
looking
person."
at that. You guys have
Right.
fun.
Yeah.
Well, we have a really good rapport with the owners, and like she was saying, like, she'll, like, after the show, she'll give us feedback, be like, hey, I really like that comic that you had out, and I really like that comic that you had out. Make sure you bring them back. And we get a lot of comics that come back again, but what's strange is they're more showcases. So there's, usually 4 or 5 comics and then a headliner. So it's kind of it's a night of comedy, not an evening of comedy.
Oh, nice.
And the nice thing about that is the people that come to the show regularly, they're seeing comics that they know and love, and then we're bringing them new comics, and then those new comics generally
become favorites too.
You have an awesome lineup there,
and that's
from
really
everywhere.
awesome. So it's like for all the comedians that have been going out, it's like just letting you guys know to get in touch with Jimmy and get on one of the showcase lists, so you can let him know that you're available to do the show, and then you can start booking them
and
out.
for sure, hit up our open mic.
Right.
In October at Outpost. It'll be fun. We won't have as big a crowd as usual because of the farmer thing, but the people that come are
It's going to be a
awesome.
contest too. There's a format in comedy where, you win the tip jar kind of a deal. So we're going to do it that way. So the winner of that show might, if
they tip well, they might come up.
There's usually...
We usually get decent tips
There's good tips. So whoever wins that bucket will be going home with going home with some goodies.
Something in their pocket.
Yeah.
And it's harvest season, so they'll be going home with a lot of goodies
that's
too.
fun.
Yeah.
And so I'm pretty sure that that's going to be the case. So I think that'll be a lot of fun. And the really thing about it is we just had our 1-year anniversary out there, and over the year we put on 50 comics there.
What is the name of this place? The Coast
Man.
Corner?
The Outpost.
No, the Outpost
I've
Saloon.
only been twice, and the 2 times I go, I meet new comics. Like I love meeting new comics. By the way, it's like one of my favorite things because everybody has different styles and different stories and different plus comedy stories. You know what I'm saying? It's awesome. And then when you see them, it's like, oh, you refresh. It's like because you hear the same people all the time. You're
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, okay. And then you hear somebody new. It's like, oh, bro.
Right. Well, it's not even so much
nice
what they say, but it's the idea of like, I think of it like a work environment, and you go to work with Joe every day. Like, you're like, I know Joe. I don't really need to trip off of Joe. And you kind of pay Joe no attention. Whereas, then there's a new guy. You're all paying attention what the new guy does all the time. Trying to figure out the new guy.
But they're not new. They've just been doing it for years somewhere else in a different city. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, oh, I'm glad
Best Buy 141.
I'm glad I got to meet you. Because everybody has a different twist and little things that
Plus
you
there's
couldn't
regional
steal.
styles.
People could steal jokes and all that stuff, but you cannot steal like a form of somebody's express. Like, you know what I'm saying? And what makes certain people funny for that little expression that only they have is like, wow. You know what I'm saying? It's
you
like,
watch a lot of Kevin Hart, huh?
Yeah. I watch a lot of a lot of comedians. Everybody, even people who don't have that expression may have a little. Even who not energetic comedians like myself may have an expression with their face where they. You know what I'm saying? Like every time they tell their punch, they put that face on, like, and it's like you could tell that's face with his friends, and that's him. You know?
I was thinking of some of the celebrity comedians. I like Eddie Griffin. He's really funny. He cracks me up. And then when he did a reality show,
I love Eddie Griffin.
I actually wanted to watch that
I
one.
watched it too. It got canceled though.
I know.
Oh my goodness!
But when he did have that, I was like, Eddie Griffin's gonna do like reality show. I was like excited because I really like him, and I was just wondering like what goes on in his life. But then when he like said his story, I was like, I can see why this guy's hecka funny because he got a whole lot of drama in his life. I was like, oh my gosh! And so it was just hilarious to watch that. But then that went off the air, and then I don't really watch too much TV anyways, but. It's nice to see, just the normal everyday life of like I kind of think that's why I like when Kevin Hart he kind of does that. He shares his life everyday life kind of thing.
Well, not anymore.
Well, he'll still continue.
He overshared a little bit.
Overshared. That's why I was like, overkill.
I bet you he's gonna tell a whole special. It's nothing about that, and then at the very end, he's gonna be like, "Hey, I just made like $9 million for this special." And
you know what? Remember
like,
when
she
Steve
got
Harvey?
4.5 of it.
Remember when Steve Harvey he called the Miss Universe something?
Oh, the wrong one.
The wrong one.
Yeah, the Philippines.
He paid him. He got so much publicity off of that, and then he even brought her on the show on his show to apologize, made a whole nother show about it. Like, dude, he made so much money off that mistake. And that's the way smart businessmen should turn their losses into a win.
I think a true like comedian, like what they really do is take that thing in their life that's
we turn
goodness.
L's into wins.
Yeah,
it's essentially what we do. You know, we take our loss and turn it into a win.
I just did that.
Speaking of winning, I got to tell you guys something. I am also nominated for a Modesto Area Music Award.
Congratulations!
So if you guys want to vote for me, you guys can go to modestoareamusic.com and vote for me for Best Comedian. My boyfriend is also nominated for his band, so you can vote for Big Girl and the Crying Shame and for the Poorhouse Millionaires. Also, The Outpost, which is our place. They're nominated for Best Venue.
Oh, they got so
they haven't heard the ad.
They're nominating comedians as well.
Yeah, there's comedy. There's
music.
Quite a few different genres of music.
Okay.
There's like metal.
When is
and
the
stuff
show?
Like that. The show voting ends on October 8th. Then the award ceremony is on the 10th.
Okay, so we can vote for multiple things then, because a friend of mine just asked me to vote for him for his music as well. So, but that's music. You're a comedian, and then you said a venue, so I can vote for all three of those.
Yeah,
there we go.
There's like 20 categories.
They even have one
Get
for,
involved, right?
Yeah, they even have a category for like kids who have bands who are doing music.
Oh, I wonder if But Awesome's on there.
Yeah.
Now we can't play favorites. We gotta remember Nick Larson is also in it, and he was on the show as well. We don't want to play favorites. We gotta give y'all 2 votes.
I'll give you guys the shout out. So the nominees are AJ DeMello, Saul Trujillo, Jason Sohm, Krish Teixeira, Anthony Kay, Serena Gamboa,
Nick Larson,
Connor Martin, and Taylor Evans, and myself.
Nice.
So I know a few of those people.
Nice lineup.
Yeah, it's a tough lineup. Like
Felicia, you should have said me and me
and you some more and you some more. They're gonna be like, oh, those names sound familiar. They were on the show,
but you're gonna vote for Felicia Felic. But yeah, there's a lot of great comedians on there. Like, I want you to go vote for me, but honestly, I just like it when people go vote and get involved in arts in their
I don't
community.
think anybody else really mentioned these mamas.
Yeah, no.
They didn't mention them. You're the first person to actually mention that they actually have a category for comedians.
That's
and that
strange.
People can go vote. So we should vote for you, Felicia, because you did share what they're.
That's strange because it's an industry award, which means it's a promoting award, which means that's how you win it.
Yeah, it's just really. I mean. I'm going up against comics who have like a lot more experience than me.
That's okay.
But I feel I'm happy and excited about it. I'm confident.
Yes.
But also just, it gives me a little bit of something to brag about. Gives something to talk about here.
Oh, yeah.
Gives me a reason to post on Facebook. Like,
well,
hey,
it's
check
like
me
getting
out.
an award. It's like having those awards for the things that you do. Like,
So even if I don't win, I already feel like I'm winning because, it's just giving me another little something to talk about.
Well, you've gone through the progression. Like, you won the nominee contest, which...
Yeah, last year.
What we do is all the comics that get nominated for the Mamas compete against each other in the Mamas, and all the comedians that don't get nominated for a Mama award compete against each other in the nominee contest. And Felicia blew all those guys out of the water.
I won the nominee last. Yeah, I won nominee last year.
Congratulations! Under your belt.
And about a third of the list this year, which consists of the Deaf Puppies group. She smoked those dudes that are in the competition with her now on stage. In front of the same crowd, in front of their crowd, I might add. It was in front of
a competition.
It was a competition.
Last year, the nominee
it was a competition in their room.
I didn't know you were doing comedy for more than a year over a year.
It was their competition in their room, in front of their crowd, in front of their people who paid them money to.
I hope
Well,
that we get a
congratulations,
sneak
And
peek.
she
Felicia.
smoked them all off of the stage, including Nick Larson.
Look forward to seeing you in.
Ooh, things are
performing on stage
heating
with
up.
you.
Nick, not Nick.
All I'm
He ain't
speaking is
doing
the
no-
truth.
Well, you know, we're going to get ready to have like many shows coming up. There's a lot of comedians out there doing their thing, and we really appreciate Marcelis Flores, who is also a comedian in MS Comedy,
you.
bringing in a lot of you guys and
We stir up the pot a little.
Yeah, sharing with the circuit what you guys have going on, where you guys get to perform, where these venues are at, and you know where people can get out and go do things other than saying like I feel stuck and there's nothing to do here. Well, here you are. You have a plethora of venues and places and cities to go and enjoy people from Stockton, people from the area. So I think that's an awesome thing. Marcelis is also having a show tomorrow at Finnegan's here in Stockton.
Finnegan's,
And
everybody
that's gonna
come
be
out.
The Libertarian Party of San Joaquin County. They're
Support.
hosting. They're having a fundraiser, and so there's going to be a comedy show there. And then that is after you guys come back from Crescent City, where
Right.
then you guys are off to Oakland for your contest. So you guys are all going to be out in Crescent City performing. And so we got a lot of other people coming in and doing things. We also had the Awkward Cougar on here the other day, and she has an event going on October 1st as well. So you can hit her up on the Facebook page. Check out Wendy Lewis, again, a.k.a. the Awkward Cougar, and you can check out where she's going to be heading out to. You can find Jimmy and Felicia on Facebook, I'm sure. Instagram. Can you tell us
Yeah,
where?
you can find me just at Jimmy Meniz. It's Jimmy with an IE, and then it's my last name, Meniz, Menezes, all one word smashed together. And you can find me all over the place.
Okay, and Felicia?
I'm at Felicia Aleman Comedy, and I don't have an Instagram because
That's okay.
I'm lame. I'm old.
'Cause you're old.
I'm old.
Oh man, you gotta get one of those.
I have
or you're gonna
Facebook
get
and
that a lot.
MySpace.
Yeah,
Okay.
Facebook.
So you have Facebook, okay,
yeah.
and then so Marcelis, you all know where you can find him: Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook.
Yep, Marcelis Flores on Facebook, and then Marcelis, and then followed by 3 underscores on the gram, and then Snapchat. I got lucky, guys, and I just got Marcelis, Marcelis. That is my domain. So.
Dang.
I know, huh?
Yeah.
I know. Who does that? Like, you gotta be Marcelis 52 or something.
Yeah.
Like, no, it's just Marcelis on Snapchat.
Like a star or a moon by you.
Exactly. But we are here to wrap it up for the morning. Everybody have a great day. Thanks for tuning in. I've been Marcelis, my host over there, RawNe, and our special guests, Jimmy and Felicia, who you can see everywhere in the 209 area. Don't forget to vote for.
Just look up if you ever want to find a comedy show in our area, regardless if it's myself, Felicia, you, whoever's on it. Just look up 209 Comedy, hashtag it. It'll
Who
pop
runs
up.
that site?
It's a hashtag, man, and all the comics promote their shows with it. So they.
Oh, the hashtag?
Yeah.
Oh, I wish I would know.
So if you hashtag 209 Comedy, just pop it up. It'll pop up with lists of shows.
Well, you guys hear that,
Then
209
then you
Comedy.
can pick your flavor.
And don't forget to vote for our girl Felicia on the nominees this year.
ModestoAreamusic.com.
ModestoAreamusic.com.
/vote.
ModestoAreamusic.com/vote. Okay, we are out of
Remember
here,
to
guys.
confirm your vote by email.
Have a great morning.
Bye-bye.
Peace.
Bye.
Yes, let's get out of here. We got time. We spare ourselves.
The devil's playground, where they spray rounds, get laid down. If you ain't real cautious, I know how sick it may sound. Drug wars, trying to survive on the battlefield. We killing each other, living nightmare, this can't be real. In Mudville, Cali, with palm trees and clutching steel. Corrupt cops in the streets, I'm starving to get a meal. I'm from a city where the good die young. Been in corners with no choice, but to carry a gun. Car washing.